and this is
Mr. G.
And guess what? We're back at it for our last Mad Science Fun Friday. Today, we're taking it back to basics. We're going to be covering nature of science. Mr. G, go ahead and tell our Gator family what we're going to be doing today.
Mr. M, so I told you we had something good for this week.
Yup.
This week, we're going to make something tasty. All right?
Hey, Mr. G, you got my stomach rumbling. What are we going to be making today?
So we're going to be making ice cream today, but I can guarantee you this, Mr. M. My ice cream is going to taste a million times better than yours.
Definitely not, Gators, because guess what? I got a little surprise up my sleeve that I'm concocting.
Oh yeah, Mr. M?
Oh yeah.
So I'm using regular ice to make the ice cream. What do you got?
So Mr. G's using regular ice, but guess what? Because I'm so great, I'm going to be using the best type of ice, and that's dry ice, all right?
We'll see if that's better, Mr. M. But listen, before we do that, we gotta make the ice cream, right?
Exactly.
And we gotta make, so this is the materials you're gonna need. Half and half milk. You could have chocolate chips if you want. You're gonna need salt, vanilla extract, sugar,
Exactly.
and you're gonna need your measuring cups.
Yup.
And then you'll also need ice. So first step we're gonna do, Mr. M, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take half and half, and I'm gonna put 1/2 of a cup of half and half milk into a Ziploc bag.
All right, so I'm going to get my Ziploc bag. I'm going to put it in my bowl so I can get it set up like Mr. G.
All right, so I'm going to put that here. I'm going to dump the milk into the Ziploc bag. Now, Mr. M, how much milk, how much half should we put in yours?
So, Gators, we're already changing one thing in this experiment. We're changing the type of ice. And y'all know that we can only change one thing. So, if we're already changing the type of ice, that means I'm only going to be using half a cup of milk. All right? Just like Mr. G. Because it is called a constant. So, our first constant is milk.
All right, Mr. M, so we're doing the constants right now. What is the thing that we changed, though? What is that called again?
That's our independent variable, and that's going to be our ice, all right? Keep that in mind as we go through this experiment.
All right, good. So we got one constant in. We got a half a cup of milk in each. Now, what we got to do is we got to do sugar next.
Exactly. We're taking 2 tablespoons of sugar, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fill my 2 tablespoon cup thing. I'm going to put that in my bag. And Mr. G, how many tablespoons of sugar are you going to use?
Well, since it's a constant, we should do the same, right?
So how many is that going to be?
That's 2.
Exactly, Mr. G, you got it. Go ahead and put that in your bag. All right.
All right. So now we have half a cup of milk, and then we have 2 tablespoons of sugar in this bag. Now, the last thing we got to do, we got to make this stuff taste good.
Exactly.
Is we got to put vanilla extract in there.
And that's going to look like this, y'all. You could get it at Walmart in the baking section or at Publix in the baking section.
All right, so Mr. M, I'm going to put a ½ teaspoon in mine. How much are you going to put in yours?
Because vanilla is a constant, I'm also going to put a ½ teaspoon as well in my bag.
All right, hopefully that's not too much. Here we go. All right, and the last thing we're going to do, I'll get this set up here. While Mr. M puts the same amount of vanilla extract in his bag, I am going to go ahead and we're going to set up 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips for each, because Mr. G loves his chocolate chips.
He loves chocolate chips, what can I say?
All right, so we're going to put 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips in each of them, Mr. M. All right, so now that as I put these 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips in each of the bags, what we're going to do is the last step. So, Mr. M, we did our constants, right?
We did our constants.
What is the independent variable again?
So remember, Gators, our independent variable is the thing that we're changing. And that's going to be the type of ice, right, Mr. G?
Yeah. So make sure you close your bag real tight. Make sure you get as much air as possible out
of it.
All right,
and I'm just going to seal my bag like this, Gators. Go ahead and do that.
So, Mr. M, here's your rinky-dink dry ice, all right?
It's not the real ice. It's cool. It has smoke coming out of it.
All right. So now what we're going to do is before we put in, we're going to have to go ahead and in both of the ices, what we're going to do is we're going to put 1/3 of a cup of salt
So, Mr. G, if you're putting 1/3 of a cup of salt, then I'm also putting 1/3 a cup of salt too, right?
Yeah, I think that's because it's a constant. Right?
Exactly, Gators. Because remember, we can only change one thing in a controlled
And
experiment.
Mr. M, what is the thing we're changing again?
And remember, the thing that we're changing, right, Mr. G, is the type of ice, right?
Exactly.
Cool.
We even have the same amount of ice in there, right?
Yeah, we have 3 cups of ice in these big bags.
All right.
Perfect.
So now the last step, Mr. M,
Yeah.
we gotta take our ice cream. Just make
Yeah.
sure it's nice and mixed up.
All right.
And let's put it into the bag of ice. Make sure you try to get all of the air out of the big bag. And then you're just
Alright.
gonna seal it up. And now we gotta wait about 7 minutes.
Cool. All
7
right.
minutes until we see if Mr. G's ice cream's much better.
Yo, Mr. G, in these 7 minutes, I'm gonna race you again, and I'm gonna beat you by one. What's going on, Gators? Me and Mr. G are back at it. We waited 7 minutes for our ice cream to freeze in our little ice bags. Mr. G, go ahead and tell our Gator family what's next.
It's the moment of truth, Mr. M. We
All
gotta
right.
figure out which one tastes better. And I know I've been talking a lot of smack, and I think mine's gonna taste better.
All right, let's see.
So, Mr. M, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna each taste the ice cream. What are we gonna
Yeah.
measure about it?
So, we're definitely gonna measure how good our ice cream tastes, Mr. G.
Good. And what is the variable that we measure at the end of an experiment called?
I definitely think, well, I know from class and stuff that we measure a dependent variable.
Exactly. So we're gonna measure
Yeah.
our dependent variable right now,
Alright.
and that is how good each ice cream tastes. So
Alright.
the one in the ice and the one in the
In
dry ice.
All right. So, all right, Gators, as you can see, mine is super frozen. My little chocolate chips are at the bottom, and I'm
Alright.
excited to see.
Mr.
eat
M,
it.
yours is frozen because mine is mushy like this.
Dang.
So let's see, Mr.
Let's
M.
see. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm gonna try it. I got a chocolate chip right here. All right, it's okay. What's your taste like?
Dude, mine is sick, Mr. G. Mine is sick.
You know what,
It's
Mr. M?
so good.
You know what? You got me this time. I don't care. I'm still gonna eat mine. Mine's still good. All right.
Really?
It's still good,
All right.
but it's not as good.
You could eat your ice cream soup,
Mr. M got me this week. All right.
but
He got me.
I got some nice frozen, super solid ice cream. That's a wrap, Gators. I'm Mr. Mutaganda, and this is Mr.
Mr. G.
And guess what? It's our last Mad Science Fun Friday. I'm wishing you a safe weekend. Stay indoors. And